Hey guys, Charlie Hines here coming to you from the Cave Songwriting Studio regarding the ability to do wireless page turning for a music stand app for your iPad. So I've purchased an AirTurn, and as soon as you plug this in, your AirTurn shows up as a device and it pairs up really nicely. That was one of the real easy features that I was excited about. And so, but when I bought the AirTurn, they said that I could use a stereo cable, which is a 2-ring cable, but it goes to at least I think it's a BT105 is the one I got, which pairs wirelessly to your iPad. They said I could use a stereo cable in the right port and plug that into the tip ring center jack of a Boss FS6. So when I do that, you'll see it's pretty cool. The Boss FX6, it actually lights up right here. Don't know if you can see that. I'm stoked. It works. And then when you push these buttons, you get a flash. And as you can tell, it has no problem going forward. My sheet music continues going forward. So it turns forward again, forward again, forward again. Yeah, it works. That's awesome. But I can't go backwards. That's kind of a problem. I've watched everything I could find on the AirTurn and this Boss pedal because I kind of like the idea of having just one pedal. But so then I wrote them and they told me that I had to have 2 stereo cables plugged into the A and B part of the pedal. Now I've got my, of course on the back, I've got my my polarity set correctly, and I've got everything set to the FS5U switch instead of the latch switch, so that it stays in a momentary switch, meaning it just sends one command. So I did that. I moved these over to the A and B cable, and I plugged the other 1/8 inch into the other side. But you'll notice when I do that, that power light gets really, really dim. And when I go to push these buttons, I don't get hardly any signal at all. So that kind of worried me. But according to my iPad, I still have signal. It's just not doing anything. So that kind of ticked me off. But long story short, I went back today and I bought 2 mono cables. So we'll take these out. And I just got 2 like guitar patch cables, and because you're really not running signal through this, you don't need a ton of really expensive cable. You just get some cheap, they could have been the cheap plastic ones. But I got these in these little converters that go to 1/8 inch. And you plug them into the left and right side. When I do that, I get the nice bright power light again. So obviously it's a tip ring issue with the FS6 foot switch. So I just flip them up like this, and then I plug them back into my AirTurn, and this sits at my feet just like this. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of cute. But it sits right in front of me on stage, and what I can then do is I get a full light, and I can go back and forth, as you can see by the iPad turning pages. So the A button backs me up, and the B button sends me forward, which is perfect. The only problem is it is an active pedal. So if you take the battery out of the back, which I will try to do very gently, the pedal ceases to operate, so I'm told. So, nothing. So if you're like me and maybe you stay on stage for 3 or 4 sets or 3 or 4 different celebrations on a weekend, then one concern you always have with anything is, do I have to like have a battery. Am I going to need to change my battery? So because the FS6 does not plug in, you don't have an option to power it off of a pedal board, even if you have an acoustic pedal board. There's no Boss plug-in supply. The cool thing is, it is tongue and groove, which is kind of cool because you can slide these other pedals, another pedal into it. So what I decided to do was go ahead and return my FS6, the nice double pedal, which is one pedal, and I got these two FS5Us, which are momentary pedals, but they're passive. There's no battery. There's also no indicator light, so you don't really know if you're getting a signal or not. But I went ahead and I plugged these in. They just go right in like that. But the cool thing about these pedals are, and they combined, they probably cost about as much as the double switch does. So cost effective wise, it's really not a big deal. But they're just tongue and groove pedals. They slide in, and you basically have the same pedal, which is about the same size as this one. This just looks cleaner. I don't know why. And it's nice to know that you're sending a signal somewhere. So I'll plug these in. So it, of course, sits on my on the floor, just like the old one does, just like this, at the base of my iPad. And again, I've got front and I've got back page turn on my iPad. It's a great device. But honestly, I would probably tell you, if it's money that you're worried about, go ahead and get two of the Boss FS5U switches, and then get a couple patch cables and a couple adapters and do it that way. This is nice, but it's for wireless. It's a great pedal, don't get me wrong, but for wireless AirTurn on an iPad, I don't like the idea of having a battery in a pedal. And I think because this, the AirTurn device actually has a power supply in it, a rechargeable whatever type battery, it competes for who's sending and receiving power. So I actually think both pedals kind of drain each other, or both devices drain each other. So this is all you need. The Boss 5SU, a couple of these, momentary, set them to momentary. Well, these are already set to momentary. Two cheap patch cables. You can get that at any Guitar Center or Sam Ash or whatever. And a couple 1/4 inch to 1/8 inch adapters. And again, the app that I'm using is Music Stand app from Planning Center. So it's kind of cool, but basically it's just a page turner for a PDF reader. And hope that helps. Hope that helps your purchases if you're thinking about doing something like this. Oh, by the way, I've got a great stand. It's actually on stage right now, but it is it's a stand that clamps in, and it's kind of an X bracket on the back of this. Has two big tabs up here that you can slide your iPad into, and it screws into a mic stand. I think I got it from chriskenna.com or chriskenna.org. So that's cool. It was like only $29, great shipping, and it's a great piece. So the thing just slips right in there, clamps in at the top, and then this and the AirTurn stays on the floor at the bottom of the music stand, or the bottom of the mic stand. And I've got wireless page turning on stage. One cool thing is I'm the kind of guy who's trying to look for a reason to buy an iPad all the time, but I'm looking for a reason to own an iPad as a musician, and I came up with some cool stuff. So I think I'll show you later, maybe later, what stuff I use for songwriting and stuff that I keep on my iPad. And it's nice when you go to play somewhere to have every piece of sheet music that you have ever learned right there on one device. And now with this, a couple of these, and the AirTurn, you can basically go green and not have any more paper. Or, you can do the old school way and just memorize your songs. But, hey, not there. So, and hope you enjoyed this. And that's it. Talk to you later.